Now, you would think that a country like China, beset by challenges, facing unprecedented global anger, would do everything to keep its allies close. Allies and friends like Russia, which have stood up for Beijing when everyone slammed it. Russia, remember, was among the worst hit countries by the Wuhan virus, remains one of the worst hit. But Russia has not blamed China. It has not censured China on Hong Kong. It has not spoken against Huawei. How has China paid back? By claiming ownership of a Russian city. It's incredible how insatiable the dragon's appetite for territory is. The city in question is Vladivostok, a Russian city that once upon a time belonged to the Qing dynasty. Russia took control after China's defeat in the Second Opium War. China ceded the region to Russia under a treaty it signed in 1860. And since then, Vladivostok has lawfully belonged to Russia. But Beijing dismisses treaties that do not suit it. It has mastered the art of distorting history and disobeying rules. So now China's wolf warriors have started a campaign against Russia. What triggered it? After all, Russia has had Vladivostok for 160 years. The trigger, we can tell you, was a social media post by the Russian embassy in China, a video about the city on the Chinese micro-blogging site Weibo. The video was meant to celebrate the 160th anniversary of the founding of Vladivostok. What followed was a backlash from China. China's wolf warriors across the world posted messages. On your screen is one such example, a post by a certain Shen Shiwei. He's a journalist, or calls himself one, at the state-run CGTN. He said this tweet of the Russian embassy to China is not so welcome on Weibo. The history of Vladivostok is far from 1860 when Russia built a military harbor. The city was Hai Shen Wei as Chinese land before Russia annexed it. Chinese land. This statement was echoed by several Chinese diplomats who clearly forgot their own government's land grab. Social media, though, was quick to remind them of what China has been up to. So they tried some damage control. Shen Shiwei posted again, this time taking aim at the Indian media. Let me quote, "Please be professional," he says. No twist. Some Indian media, Russian embassy's celebration on Vladivostok recalled bitter memories of those humiliated days in the 1860s for Chinese. Nothing related to land claims since border treaty was signed, unquote. Well, China complaining about humiliation and land claims seems a bit odd because the speed and scale of its own land grab is incredible and unprecedented. China is pushing its borders and swallowing land in at least 21 countries. I've come with a list and a map. Let's start with the Philippines. China claims parts of the Spratly Islands. It does not matter that the International Court of Justice has rejected this claim. The court has clearly said these islands belong to the Philippines, but China is not known to obey or abide by orders. Then we have Indonesia. China claims fishing rights in waters near Indonesian islands. China is also engaged in a dispute with Malaysia. It claims islands included in Malaysia's exclusive economic zone. Next on our list is Laos. China claims large areas of Laos on historical precedent. That's the term they use. Next, Cambodia. China claims parts of Cambodia too, again on historical precedent. In Thailand, China has been dredging on the Mekong River since 2001. Time and again, the Thai cabinet has scrapped Chinese projects. The last instance was in February 2020, this year. Then we have Vietnam, standing its ground against China's territorial claims on several islands. In return, China targets Vietnamese fishing boats. In the East China Sea, Beijing is engaged in a land dispute with Japan. The Senkaku and Ryukyu Islands are the big flashpoints. In North Korea, China has a continuing dispute over Mount Paektu and the Tumen River. In South Korea, China claims islands in the country's exclusive economic zone, and this is on good days. On bad days, China claims the entire South Korea, again on historical grounds, whatever they are. In the West, China has an ongoing dispute with Tajikistan dating back to 1884. China also lays claim to over 34,000 square kilometers of land in Kazakhstan. In Kyrgyzstan, China says the entire territory should be a part of the Chinese mainland. In 1999, it forced Kyrgyzstan to hand over 1,250 square kilometers of land. And then we have China's communist comrade, Russia. China claims at least 160,000 square kilometers of Russian land, despite signing several agreements. Vladivostok is just the tip of the iceberg. These were 13 countries. I have 7 more: India, Nepal, Bhutan, Taiwan, Brunei, Mongolia and Singapore. A total of 21 countries then. China is trying to steal the territory of 21 nations. And the list of China's military moves against these countries is even longer. It has targeted Japanese naval ships. It has encroached Indonesian fisheries. It conducts unwarranted drills near Taiwan. It has deployed exploration vessels near Indonesia. It has given Chinese names to disputed islands. I could go on, but you get the point. China under Xi Jinping has a dangerous hunger for land that belongs to others. And it doesn't matter who the others are. Small islands, big neighbors, nuclear-armed neighbors, even so-called friends. China's expansionism has no filters, even for Vladimir Putin.